The film Interstellar is one of the greatest science fiction stories ever told, but many viewers struggle to fully understand it. That's because it blends human emotions with some of the most complex concepts in science. So today, let's walk through this epic tale in clear, simple words. The story begins with Cooper, once a skilled NASA pilot, now reduced to being a corn farmer. Why? Because the world has changed. Earth no longer needs explorers or scientists, it needs food. Crops are failing, dust storms sweep across the land, and humanity is slowly starving. Wheat stopped growing years ago, only corn is left. Cooper lives with his father-in-law, his teenage son Tom, and his bright, curious daughter, Murph. Murph is sharper than most kids her age, but in her bedroom she believes there's a ghost. Books keep falling from her shelf, patterns appear without reason. Cooper laughs, insisting ghosts don't exist, but Murph feels something weird and haunted. Cooper encourages Murph to observe carefully. If something strange happens, record it, study it, find the reason. Then later night, during a massive dust storm, they notice an unusual sight in Murph's room. Dust has settled on the floor in perfect lines, forming a mysterious pattern. Cooper realizes this isn't random. It's not a ghost at all. It's gravity, and someone or something is using it to send them a message. He stays up all night decoding it. The pattern turns out to be written in binary code, a language of ones and zeros usually used by computers. Here, thick lines represent 1 and thin lines represent 0. When Cooper decoded, he discovers it's actually a set of coordinates. Following those coordinates, Cooper and Murph arrive at a hidden facility. To his shock, it's NASA, still alive in secret. Here he meets Professor Brand and his daughter, Amelia Brand. Years ago, Cooper had worked with them before the world crumbled. Professor Brand reveals the bitter truth. Earth is dying. Crops are vanishing. The air is becoming toxic, and soon nothing will survive here. Humanity's only hope is to leave Earth behind. But how? Habitable planets, worlds like Earth where humans could survive, are unimaginably far away. Cooper asks the same question: how can we possibly get there? That's when Professor Brand reveals something astonishing. Nearly 50 years ago, a mysterious higher intelligence, perhaps an advanced civilization, placed a wormhole near Saturn. This wormhole acts like a shortcut through space, a tunnel that could take them to another galaxy in a fraction of the time. On the other side might be planets where humanity can start anew. Who created this wormhole, and why are they helping us? That mystery will unfold later. But first, we need to understand what a wormhole really is. We live in the Milky Way, a galaxy filled with stars and planets, but it's just one planet of many spread across the huge universe. The problem? They're so far away that even our fastest technology would take millions of years to reach them. That's why Einstein's idea of a wormhole, a shortcut through space, feels so important. Think of it this way. Imagine a flat sheet of paper. Mark point A on one side and point B on the other. To travel from A to B, the normal path is straight across, but if you fold the paper, suddenly A and B touch, creating a shortcut. That shortcut is a wormhole, called a tunnel through space-time, connecting distant places in an instant. Back to the movie, Professor Brand explains to Cooper that NASA has a spacecraft called Endurance. It carries enough fuel to pass through the wormhole near Saturn and reach another galaxy. Long before this, NASA had already sent 13 astronauts through the wormhole on solo missions. Their task is to find and gather information of planets on the other side and see if any could support human life. Each astronaut carried a beacon. If they found a habitable planet, they would activate it. Back on Earth, NASA couldn't communicate directly, but they could detect those beacon signals. For years, NASA has been receiving signals from 3 planets, which means there are potentially 3 new Earth-like worlds waiting to be explored. Professor Brand then explains the mission. A team of astronauts must travel through the wormhole, check these 3 planets, and decide which one is most suitable for humanity. The chosen world must have water, breathable air, and sustainable conditions for survival. But what happens once they find it? For that, Professor Brand reveals 2 plans. Plan A. Professor Brand has been working for years on a complex gravitational equation. If he solves it, they can launch a massive spacecraft, so huge it could carry Earth's entire population to the new world. The catch? Gravity keeps the ship grounded, and until the equation is cracked, launching is impossible. Plan B. If the equation fails, humanity will still have a backup. The Endurance will carry frozen human fertility seeds containing DNA from people across Earth. Then astronauts could repopulate humanity on a new planet with them, ensuring our species survives, even if the people left on Earth die. In short, they want to replicate the natural birth process externally, giving humanity a second chance. Professor added, once one of NASA's finest pilots, is asked to join this mission. Professor Brand believes Cooper is the only one capable of leading and piloting the Endurance. Cooper agrees, but his daughter Murph is devastated. She knows the dangers, the risks this mission might mean she'll never see her father again. Cooper tries to comfort her, explaining that he must go, not just for himself but for the survival of everyone on Earth. That night, Murph studies the strange dust patterns in her room again, hoping for another message. By morning, when Cooper prepares to leave, Murph tearfully reveals what she decoded. The message said only one word: stay. She begs him not to go. Cooper wants his daughter should stay alive even Earth dies. Emotions were high, but he walks away. Soon after, he boards the rocket that will carry him and Professor's daughter Amelia toward the greatest journey of their life, through the wormhole and into the unknown and unidentified void. Cooper finally leaves Earth behind, climbing into space. Alongside them are two more astronauts, Doyle and Romilly, and two advanced robots, Tars and Case. Together, they dock their shuttle with the massive Endurance spacecraft, their true home for the journey. Their destination, Saturn, where the wormhole is waiting for them. The Endurance passes through the wormhole and emerges in a distant galaxy, near a monstrous black hole named Gargantua. A black hole is like a vacuum cleaner with super strong gravity, so strong that anything can swallow, even light cannot escape. Now back to the movie. Orbiting this black hole are 3 planets, the same 3 that had been sending beacon signals to NASA for years. Their first target, Miller's planet, where astronaut Miller's beacon was still active, but Copper was very serious to get out less than an hour from this planet after gathering the information. Why? Because Miller's planet is dangerously close to Gargantua. This means it suffers from time dilation, a mind-bending effect of gravity, meaning time cannot be same as Earth. So while just 1 hour passes on Miller's planet, 7 long years pass on Earth. Cooper knows that every moment cost him precious years with his children. His goal, get in and out quickly, within an hour. Cooper, Amelia, and Doyle get out to the planet's surface, while Romilly remains aboard. Endurance stays in orbit. When they land, they discover an endless ocean, water stretching as far as the eye can see. No land, no life, no hope for human settlement. Nearby, they find broken parts from Miller's ship. To their horror, they realize Miller's craft had died almost immediately after landing. Her beacon had only transmitted for a few hours, but due to time dilation, NASA received the signal for years. Before they can escape, a high tidal wave crashes toward them. In the chaos, Doyle is killed and their lander floods, delaying their departure. What was supposed to be 1 hour stretches into 3 hours. By the time Cooper and Amelia return to orbit, Romilly has aged 23 years longer, and to them, decades have passed. Romilly tells them he thought they died down there. He spent those years waiting, studying, and watching the endless flow of messages from Earth. Cooper finally views them, and the moment is heartbreaking. His children are grown. His son Tom is farmer and married with children of his own. His daughter Murph, now the same age as Cooper, has become a brilliant scientist, working with Professor Brand on the same project. But Murph is furious. She feels abandoned, betrayed. Cooper had promised to return, but decades have passed. Her message burns with anger. You left us here to die. Back on Endurance, the situation grows worse. So much fuel has been burned that they can now only explore one more planet. After heavy debate, 3 of them, they decide to visit Dr. Mann's planet. Mann was one of NASA's most respected astronauts, and his planet is farther from the black hole, safe from time dilation. They land and find Mann in a deep sleep chamber, a futuristic pod that preserves life for decades. Awakened, Mann tells them the planet is harsh but still potentially habitable. His words spark hope in the crew. But then from Earth, another shocking message from Murph arrives. She reveals that Professor Brand confessed before his death. Plan A was a lie. To carry Earth's entire population in spacecraft. It required quantum data from inside a black hole, something no one could ever obtain and not possible at all. Which means Earth's people were never meant to be saved. Only Plan B, the frozen embryos and seeds aboard Endurance, was real. Humanity's survival rests not with saving those left behind, but fresh starts from another world. Murph, heartbroken, blames her father for leaving them to die. Still, she refuses to give up. She throws herself into the impossible task of solving the equation, searching desperately for a way to save Earth. Cooper was heartbroken. He decided to return, no matter the risk. Ramili urged him, "If you swing close to the black hole, you can use its gravity as a slingshot. Send TARS inside, let him collect the gravity data. That's the key to solving the equations back on Earth. Besides, fuel is short. A slingshot will give us the speed we need." It was dangerous. As close they went to the black hole, the more time would pass on Earth. Cooper couldn't bear that thought. He wanted to see his children alive again. Yet deep down, he's still hoping. If he could return with the data, maybe Plan A could still work to carry his entire population. While planning, they noticed something strange. Man's robot, Kip, was dismantled. Cooper asked why. Man calmly claimed the machine had malfunctioned, sending false readings, so he shut it down. They believed him. But soon as they explored the planet, the truth surfaced. Man had lied. His data was fake. This world was never habitable. He had tricked them all, desperate for rescue him. The discovery sparked fury. Man turned violent, trying to kill Cooper. In the chaos, Ramili was killed. Man rushed to escape in his lander, racing toward the Endurance. He needed a full ship if he ever hoped to survive the journey home. Amelia and Cooper chased after him, but Man reached Endurance first. Desperate to dock, he miscalculated. The attempt ended in a strong explosion, killing him instantly and leaving Endurance crippled, spinning out of control. Cooper didn't give up. Somehow he managed to connect the ships, even though everything was going wrong. He struggled to keep the ship steady as it got pulled closer to the black hole. But it was too late. Endurance was already falling into the darkness. Plan A was lost. Cooper's only hope was Plan B, ensure humanity's survival on Edmund's planet, the third planet where a beacon still signaled life. To reach it, he calculated a daring decision using the black hole's gravity to slingshot Endurance forward. But there was a problem. The ship was too heavy. Without hesitation, Cooper detached his lander, taking TARS with him. Amelia, now alone on Endurance, would carry Plan B forward. She would reach Edmund's planet and preserve humanity's future. As Endurance sped away, Cooper and TARS were drawn into the black hole's crushing grip. Science says nothing escapes such a place. Everything is torn apart. First, Cooper released TARS, sending the robot to capture the vital gravity data. Then, Cooper let himself fall deeper. Accepting his fate, everything went dark, and he was sure it was all over. But instead of dying, Cooper found himself inside a mysterious structure. A tesseract. Now, in simple words, tesseract is kind of cube inside another cube, with all corners connected, when we try to draw it in 3D paper. But in reality, it exists in a space we can't fully picture. Back to Cooper, it was a place where time existed as a physical dimension. Past, present, and future all stretched before him, layered like endless corridors. Through this strange lattice, Cooper could see Murph's childhood bedroom, the very room where she once swore a ghost haunted her. Now he understood. It wasn't a ghost at all. It was him. Countless timelines of that room unfolded. Murph as a child, Murph as a grown woman, moments he had lived and moments yet to come. Emotions were high on Cooper's face. He realized he had one chance. Send a message to his daughter. Warn her, guide her, but how? Then he reached the solution. Gravity. Unlike light or sound, gravity can cross dimensions. Using it, Cooper knocked books off Murph's shelf. That was the beginning of the movie, the ghost she had believed in. With the dust storm that once cleaned her room, he bent gravity again, leaving binary coordinates of NASA's hidden base. It wasn't Ghost. He was her father, reaching across time. But now came the most crucial step. TARS, still with him, had captured the quantum data from inside the black hole. Data powerful enough to complete Professor Brand's unsolved equation. With it, Plan A could work, the evacuation of Earth. Now Cooper moved and crossed some lattice further. In a future timeline, he saw her again, older now, a scientist at NASA. In her hand was the wristwatch he had given her as a child. That was his bridge. With gravity, he manipulated the watch's second hand, ticking out the data in binary code. Murph noticed. She stared at the watch, puzzled at first, then something surprisingly. In realization that her father was speaking to her through time. She cracked the code, solved the equation, and humanity's survival became possible. Giant space stations lifted Earth's people into orbit, fulfilling the dream of Plan A. I'm sure it is still confusing. Let's cover the theory section till end of the video. When the transfer was complete, the Tesseract collapsed. Cooper drifted into unconsciousness. We don't see clearly, but his ship was floating near Saturn. And we have seen Cooper now. Rescued by astronauts, Cooper awoke aboard a vast orbital habitat. Humanity had not only survived, it had flourished. Artificial gravity kept life stable, and entire communities floated among the stars. The station's name stunned him, Cooper Station. At first he thought it was for him, but no, it was named after Murph, the real savior of humanity. When he finally reunited with her, he found Murph very aged, lying in her hospital bed on her last breath. The little girl he once promised to return to was now a woman at the end of her life. By Earth's calendar, Cooper was now 125 years old, but for him, only a few of years passed. When he finally reunited with Murph, she looked at her father with love. She told him that he no longer belonged there, and she had lived her life. Murph urged him to go, to find his place elsewhere, because her time was over. Heartbroken but listening to her, Cooper decided to honor her words. He prepared to journey to the distant planet where Dr. Amelia Professor Brand had gone, following Plan B. The film then shifts to Amelia. She lands successfully on the alien world. The landscape is harsh yet promising, habitable, ready for new beginnings. She sets up camp, knowing her mission is to seed life and give humanity another chance among the stars. The story leaves us wondering, will Cooper find her? Will they reunite? The answer remains untold, left for the audience to imagine. But the deeper mystery lies elsewhere. Let's take a theory section as promised earlier, where Cooper got the equation data, Professor Brand's equation to launch huge space stations from Earth, saving humanity. Plan A was incomplete because a gravity equation requires, in order Hergiomasian. To solve this, scientists needed quantum gravity data from inside a black hole, something impossible to collect, unless someone actually went in. When Cooper and Tars the robot fell into Gargantua, the black hole, inside, Cooper didn't die. Instead, he ended up in the Tesseract, a fifth-dimensional space created by future humans. Here, time itself existed as a physical dimension. Cooper could see his daughter's room at different moments in the past, and Tars was able to record the quantum data from its singularity. Now another question. How Cooper sent it those equation or data to Murph? In the Tesseract, Cooper realized the ghost was nothing but himself from future, as Murph had seen in her childhood room, but gravity being the only force that could cross dimensions, he used it to send messages. Firstly, he knocked books and dust to form coordinates which shown earlier in the movie. But finally, he encoded the quantum data from Tars into the second hand of Murph's watch, using Morse code as short ticks and long ticks. Now she has grown up and became a scientist, recognized the pattern on her childhood watch, decoded the data, and completed Brand's equation. This allows to manipulate gravity on a large scale and launch huge space stations from Earth, saving humanity. Plan A. Now, few more questions. Who was truly guiding humanity all along? Who placed the wormhole near Saturn, giving humans a bridge to distant galaxies? Who built the Tesseract, allowing Cooper to send the quantum data back to Murph? The answer is profound. These were not aliens at all. They were humans of the future, an advanced civilization that had transcended time and dimensions. They had mastered to fabricate time and dimensions concepts. But still there is a paradox. If humanity hadn't survived in the past, how could such a future civilization ever exist to save them? The film does not resolve this question. It leaves it hanging like a cosmic riddle, open for us to ponder. But wait, what happened to his son Tom? Later in the film, adult Murph goes to see her brother. She realizes Tom's son Jesse is dying from lung issues due to the dust. She begs Tom to leave the farm and come with her, but Tom angrily refuses. saying he won't abandon his land. The movie doesn't show Tom after this, but it's implied that while Murph, profound scientist and saved humanity with the solved equation, Tom's old way of life was doomed. He represents the people who resisted change and couldn't let go of Earth. But in another way, Interstellar movie ends with hope. Earth was dying, but a father's love for his daughter helped save everyone. The movie shows us that love is powerful, even stronger than time and...
Thanks for watching, and hope you have enjoyed this. See you in next amazing video. Till then, take care and best wishes, but don't forget to like and subscribe.